Clutch Trucker is filmed before a live studio audience. That's Rusty, by the way. Right, Rusty? Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to the Clutch Trucker channel. Today's subject, something I get asked about quite a bit because I'm an owner-operator. And I've been an owner-operator for, let's see here, about 7 years, somewhere in that range. All right, a lot of times while I'm driving down the road, people get on the CB and ask me questions. If I'm in truck stops, sometimes I'll get asked questions. Not as much at truck stops because I tend not to spend a lot of time inside truck stops because I tend to eat mostly out of the truck. I've got a hotel-sized fridge in here. I've got a microwave. I've got my George Foreman copper-infused grill. And so I've got lots of ways to cook in the truck and make food in the truck. So it saves me a lot of money, and I don't have to eat that crap at the truck stops and pay the ridiculous prices they want. But anyway, today's subject, like I say, owner-operators. A lot of people ask, well, how did you get to become an owner-operator? How do you do it? Should I lease from a company? Blah, blah, blah. So just going to run down a few of the main topics as far as being an owner-operator in the trucking industry. Now, a lot of people ask about the whole leasing a truck versus just going out and buying one. And should you ever lease a truck from a company you're going to be working for? No, run away, don't let them pull you in. If that doesn't give you my opinion on that, I'll elaborate. But if, run away from that. Never lease a truck.
Say a command.
I said something, obviously, that made my GPS go off. Exit! Exit! That's one problem with the Garmin, with the GPS and the voice command. Well,
Say a command.
I said it again. Exit! Exit! Alright, so I can't say the words that start with V and C. Or it makes that go off. Okay, yeah, don't lease a truck from the company you're going to be working for. Huge major reason. What if it goes south? It's not going well, you're not making enough money, the truck payments are killing you. What can you do? Well, if you're leasing from them, you're kind of stuck up, you're kind of screwed. You bend over and you know what I'm saying. That's why you never want to lease a truck from a company you're going to lease the truck back to, because all it is trouble for you. If it doesn't go well, you're screwed. You're probably going to lose any money you put into it. You may have to walk away from it. They may let you walk away, but boy, are they going to kill you with fines and everything. This is how Kringland, CR England, has put so many drivers out of business. They lease to these drivers who don't know any better. They've been working maybe 6 months, and they get them into a lease. And then, funny thing, they're not making enough money. They can't survive. They have to end up giving the truck back. What does England do? They turn around and lease it to another driver. And you lost everything that you put into it. So, don't lease a truck from a company you're going to work for. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Run away. Treat it like a hotel fire. Use the stairs, not the elevators. Run away, all right? If you're thinking about becoming an owner-operator, now you can lease, but lease from an independent company. There are companies out there that do lease trucks, and they will lease it directly to you, and then you can turn around and lease that truck to another trucking company, okay? But never do it from the company you're going to work for, because if it goes bad, you want to be able to leave. And you want to be able to take your truck with you and get everything you've put into it. So never do that. Like I say, your second best option, if you have to go the lease route, is lease it from another company, an independent company. There are some out there that do that. I know I've seen those billboards if you're riding along I-70 in Missouri for kickasstrucks.com. They, I think, do reasonable payments. They will sell you a truck. There's one option you can look into. If you've got decent credit, I think they don't even need a down payment. You should plan on, though, putting at least 10% down on a truck. Now, a brand new truck, they're expensive. That's why I bought this one here, this glider kit, if you looked at some of my previous videos about that. New trucks are running 170, 180 grand these days. Well, that's 18 grand at only 10% down. That's a lot of money. This truck was $125,000. The price of these have gone up because when FMCSA changed that rule, saying if you've got a glider kit with an engine that's older than 99 or older, you don't have to run e-logs. I'm running paper logs in this truck, and I've done this on other videos, but here it is. There's my paper logbook. I even had custom log sheets made, which are handy. Anyway, so of course I bought this truck 125 grand. As soon as they changed that rule, almost a year later, the same truck was about 150,000 because all of a sudden they were in demand. I bought it the right time. I lucked out. You can still buy some glider kits. There are still some out there, but make sure you get one with a 99 or older engine if that's what you're looking for, to try to do that whole paper log thing. All right. But glider kits, I think, are good, even if you have to get a carb compliant engine, a more recent engine, just because you can choose what you want on the truck, and it's still going to save you some money over just a brand new rolled off the assembly line kind of truck from Freightliner, Peterbilt, Kenworth. Of course, Peterbilt and Kenworth, both PACCAR companies, or International. I think they finally fixed their engine issues they had with those internationals. They had some really bad engines for a few years, and you can still get some of those older internationals for damn near nothing if they have that max force engine in them, because those engines had a lot of issues. So if you buy one of those with a max force engine, just know you may have a lot of issues, a lot of repair issues. All right. Okay, another reason I bought this truck, this glider truck, because the main reason I bought it, this is my third truck. And I got tired of getting nickel and dimed by all the sensors and everything related to that after treatment system, the EGR, the DEF system and all that, all those sensors and everything. Every time I turned around, one of those sensors was going bad. And, it'll shut you down on the side of the road. All the companies have now finally kind of gotten that figured out. So if you do buy a truck on your own, it's 2019 now, you probably want to buy a 2015 or newer if you possibly can, okay? Because they kind of finally figured it out around 2015, and they don't seem to have as many issues with the whole DEF and after treatment and all that, okay? This truck doesn't have any of that on it, so I have none of those issues. My most expensive repair on this truck thus far has been a radiator. One-time repair. That was around $2 grand. Otherwise, it's been lots of little stuff, and just like you're going to have on any truck. Airline issues, tires. Tires are one of your big, okay, that's my biggest expense, honestly, but that's going to be on any truck. Tires are a huge expense. If you can get them through a national account, if the company you lease to gives you access to that, that's going to save you money. Last time I did tires on this truck, I saved a lot of money going through a national account. Funny thing, it was CR England's national account that they seem to lend out to a lot of other companies. Turquoise Trucking's who I lease to, we're able to use CR England's account, which I thought was hilarious. But anyway, I saved a bunch on tires. I got a top tier tire this time, a drive tire, a Bridgestone. My previous drive tire on this truck had been a Uniroyal, which is the third tier tire of Michelin. Still did pretty good for me. I got 240,000 miles out of those drive tires. Not bad. Okay, I'm getting off topic. But anyway, these are all things you need to consider if you're going to become an owner-operator, because these are expenses you're going to have. And you're going to have to be buying tires. Your steers are only going to last anywhere from 100 to 200,000 at most. And the only reason you're going to get 200,000 out of a set of steers is if you buy top-tier tires. Otherwise, 100,000 is the most you're going to expect. Steer tires wear out faster, guys. Drive tires, you should expect to get at least 200,000, even on lower tier tires. If you're going to buy a Michelin or a Bridgestone drive tire, you might approach 300,000, okay? That's about all you're going to get out of tires. You got to budget for that. You got to spend, $3 grand for a set of drive tires. That's not unheard of, okay? A set of steers, 1,000 or more. So these are expenses you need to plan for. This is why, now I've taken some notes here, if you're going to become an owner-operator or lease a truck from an independent company, and then lease that back to somebody else. You got to have some decent credit, guys. And you got to have some credit cards with some room on them, so you can buy a set of tires if you need to, and slap, you know, $3,000 onto there. And what happens if next month you blow that radiator? Well, there's another $2,000. You got to have some room on your credit cards, so you got to have some decent credit. So start building that up. So if you're new to the industry, don't even think about trying to lease or buy a truck until you've done it at least 2 years, guys. I had done it, a little over 2 years, and that's when I dove into it. And probably maybe should have waited a little bit longer, but I wanted to do it. So, but give yourself at least 2 years, and then try that. Like I say, this is my third truck. My first one was a 2008 Cascadia. My second one was a 2012 Cascadia. A buddy of mine, Jim, bought that truck. He has since had the engine rebuilt, and he keeps saying, "No, quit touting how I turned that engine up," but he turned it way up, and he can outpull everything. So, yeah, Jim, I know. He's the one who gave me the great tip on the George Foreman grill with the rental trap. Anyway, so if you're going to be trying to become an owner-operator, if you can buy it outright on your own, that's the best way to go, because you own the truck, and then you can lease it to whoever you want. And if that isn't going well with them, you can always leave. You can leave and move on. I personally also now own my own trailer, and that's because when I went to work for Turquoise, they were leasing trailers through Stoughton, or Stoughton, or however you say it. But we were still responsible for all repairs. And I'm thinking, if I'm responsible for all repairs, I might as well own the damn thing. So I bought a used Hyundai trailer, and I keep up the maintenance on that, but then I know what's happening. There's another big advantage of being an owner-operator. When you own your own truck, you now, once you've had it for a while and you start doing repairs on it, and you're keeping up with your PMs and your oil changes and everything else, you know the history. That's the nice part. You know what's going on with your truck. So if they can say, "Hey, when was the last time the flip joy was replaced?" You can say, "Oh, that was last February. I've replaced that flip joy. By the way, the bleezer horn was also done last February as well. And that monkey handle, yeah, I got that replaced 2 years ago." So, you know, these are things you can say and you can know. And this is the nice part about owning your own truck. Now, if you can buy new, like I did with this one, at least the truck was new, the engine's rebuilt, the transmission's rebuilt, but, you know, everything essentially was new, so I knew the entire history. That makes a big difference when you know what's going on with your truck. Plus, then you're allowed to fix a lot of simple things. Small airline leaks and stuff, I fix those on my own. I replaced my own bulbs. I fixed an ABS issue I had on this truck that was driving me nuts for months. I brought it into 2 Petros, a TA. Nobody could figure out the problem. I finally just showed up to a Freightliner dealer in Indianapolis, and I said, "All right, we've traced everything else down. What else is in that line between that and the engine computer that could possibly be wrong?" And they said, "Well, there's this wiring harness here. It's $100. I said, "Well, I'll give that a try." I crawled into the truck, got all greasy. I replaced that. Funny thing, that fixed my issue, and I didn't have to pay a Freightliner another $200 or more for diagnostic and all that. I fixed it on my own. All right. So you got to be ready, guys, to fix a lot of crap on your own. Anything little like that you can do. I'm not an engine guy. The guy Jim I sold my last truck to, he's a total motorhead. I call him up with a lot of questions. It's nice to have a guy like that in your back pocket. "Hey, Jim, here's what's happening. I'm hearing this, I'm looking at that, and this doesn't look right. What do you think?" And I get a motorhead's opinion, I get my opinion, and usually we can figure it out, butt our heads together, and then I can go find a part and fix it on my own. That's what you got to do as an owner-operator, cut corners wherever you can. So a lot of times you're fixing your own crap, but that's the way to do it. All right, let's see, let me look at my notes here. I said, don't lease from a company. If you must lease, do it through an independent. Try to buy on your own if you can. You need to have the good credit. You need to have room on your credit card for repairs. The advantages to being an owner-operator, well, you can do whatever the hell you want to your truck. You can customize your inside however you want. Like on mine, if you've watched some of my previous videos, I have a hotel-sized fridge in here. I took the bottom cabinet out behind the passenger seat. I've got a good inverter, so it runs my fridge. I can run my microwave that I've installed in here. I can do what I want with the truck. You can customize it the way you want. You can make, so that is just nice on your own, because you own the thing. Like I say, you own that. You know the history of your truck, which is big. Ever since I bought my trailer last summer, it's nice knowing the history on that. I've had to now replace 3 of the wheel seals on this trailer. I've got 1 left, but see, I know that. So next time, if I ever have an issue, I can say, hey, those 3 are new, so don't even be touching them. There's only 1 that should be bad. So I know the history on that. It helps. Things like airlines on a trailer, I can do that on my own. That's easy. Those are easy fixes. And I'm going to be doing a video about fixing that. If you saw my one on doing basic wire repairs on your truck, a lot of this stuff is not that hard to do. Why pay guys, a lot of money, a Freightliner, a TA, a Petro, tons of money, hundreds of dollars per hour to do this, when a lot of times you can take care of it on your own, drivers. And you have to get in that mindset if you're going to be an owner-operator, because you want to fix whatever you can. Like I say, I'm not a motorhead, but I've learned a lot of crap. I'm willing to crawl under the truck and unfreeze the brakes. I'm willing to get a little greasy and try to find an issue with the ABS connection, whatever. I replace lights, I fix wires, whatever I can. If it's now past my, expertise, well, yeah, then I got to pay somebody. But then again, also, it's going to be on my time, on my schedule. I can't be shut down. This is how I make money. So, okay, to kind of recap, overall thing is never lease, ever, a truck from a company you're going to work for. Get it on your own one way or another through a lease or outright buying it. And expect you need to come up with at least 10% down, sometimes even 20% down. Like on this truck, 125 grand, I put 12.5 down, 12,500. Actually, I didn't need to at that time, because that was my 3rd truck I had financed through, Freightliner Financial, which is, the Mercedes-Benz financial company. So they said I didn't need to put anything down. I still put stuff down because I wanted to knock them payments down a little bit. And yes, my wife will make fun of me for saying them payments, but you do this long enough out here and you kind of fall into that kind of speak. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Anyway, so hope this helps some of you guys thinking about buying your own truck. Wait it out. You got to have the good credit. You got to put some money down, and you got to be ready to get dirty and do a lot of this stuff on these trucks yourself. And do the research. Look into everything possible. Try to get the best price. Don't just be, overwhelmed by, I'm going to buy this truck, and it's so pretty, and be sensible about it. You want a truck that's going to work for you, that's going to make some money for you. That's what it comes down to. Your truck makes money for you, and so you need to do all of the research you can. All right, I might do some more videos related to this to get into more specifics of this, because there's so much on this subject to talk about. Hope that helps some of you out. Thanks for watching. As always, hit the like, subscribe please, ring the bell, sniff the magic YouTube fairy dust, clutch out.